Last week, we introduced you to our latest ebook, The Game of the Decade, 7 Plays for Winning the Most Important 10 Years to Retirement Success. We then took some time to do a quick run-through of these 7 plays. This week, we begin our deeper dive into each as we introduce play number 1, maximizing the 5 years before and the 5 years after retirement. If you want to get the ebook now, head on over to www.makeitpersonalpodcast.com where you can download it, as well as our first ebook. While you're there, you can even schedule a no-obligation conversation with one of our advisors so that they can help you to develop a personalized plan. Who am I? My name is Mark Zagurski, and I'm the Director of Strategy and Communication for Mutual of Omaha Advisors, a division of Mutual of Omaha. I represent the voice of approximately 1,000 advisors nationwide. At Mutual of Omaha Advisors, we recognize that planning for retirement is deeply personal, and achieving financial well-being is essential to fulfilling one's life vision. Our dedicated team supports clients in protecting what matters most and building a secure retirement strategy. Which leads me back to our 7 plays for your retirement success, and play number 1, maximizing the 5 years before and the 5 years after retirement. Retirement today looks very different from how it did in your grandparents' era, and even quite different from your parents' time. 50 or more years ago, the standard retirement plan often followed a simple formula. Work until you're 65, collect your pension, draw on Social Security, and rely on personal savings to fill in the gaps. Back then, life expectancies were shorter, and the financial demands of retirement were much more predictable. With longer life expectancies, rising healthcare costs, and the decline of traditional pensions, modern retirement planning has become much more complex. Many people now must rely heavily on self-funded savings like 401ks and IRAs, requiring careful planning to ensure that their money lasts. As retirement needs continue to evolve, understanding the 2 critical phases and the strategies that make them up has never been more important. Retirement planning can be broken down into 2 key phases: accumulation and distribution. These phases mark the distinct periods between preparing for retirement and then living in it. The accumulation phase, as the name suggests, is all about saving and building your financial resources leading up to retirement. This is the time to focus on contributing to retirement accounts, growing your investments, and setting the foundation for your financial independence in the future. The distribution phase, on the other hand, begins the moment you retire. This period is when the focus shifts to generating income from your accumulated assets, whether that's through retirement accounts, investments, Social Security, or other sources that will help you sustain your lifestyle throughout your retirement. Life expectancies are on the rise. According to the Capital Group, a man turning 65 today will live to be 88 on average, and a woman will live to be 90 on average. For a 65-year-old couple, at least one person on average will survive to the age of 94. Furthermore, 1 in 4 65-year-old males today will live to 94, and 1 in 4 females will live to 96. These ages represent the averages, of course. Some will live longer, and some may experience a shorter lifespan. While we can't know the future, but you can look at your family history and current health situation to try to make the right decisions for your family when it comes to life expectancy. Based on this potential increased life expectancy, one of the most significant risks that retirees face today is the prospect of outliving their money. In the simplest terms, one of the most essential financial issues in retirement is, will our money outlive us, or will we outlive our money? A long and healthy life is a blessing, but it's natural to worry that you'll run out of funds at some point, which could create a financial burden for your loved ones. For this potential risk, we need to have a clear plan in place. We need to formalize our game plan during the last 5 years before retirement. It's possible to go the DIY route, but you'll likely spend a significant amount of time and possibly money to learn everything you need to know. Even then, you still won't know what you don't know, which creates risk. That's where a trusted advisor comes into play, which we'll get into later. Some major areas of focus in your last 5 years before retirement include building up your emergency fund, arranging for the management and/or disposal of your estate, leveraging your peak earning years to maximize retirement savings, and locking in insurance and income protection needs. Having a plan to build an emergency fund, addressing outstanding estate planning such as wills and living trusts, and maximizing retirement savings are just a few of the critical items during the 5 years immediately before you retire. Now on to protecting your most important asset, your ability to continue earning an income. Why is your income your most important asset? Because even if your home is already paid for, you'll still have a lot of other expenses, sudden emergencies, and more. Having sufficient savings to cover any immediate needs upon an untimely death, while also allowing the surviving spouse and any dependent children to continue their existing lifestyle, should be addressed with adequate life insurance. The same can be said for disability income insurance in case you get sick or hurt and are unable to work. Now we move on to the 5 years beyond retirement, which are critical because it's the first time you may not be actively earning an income, and it's when you begin to rely on your assets or non-employment income sources. You may see your investment account money being withdrawn monthly to pay the bills going out. Now is the time to get comfortable with the idea I'm no longer primarily a saver. During the first 5 years after retirement, you'll need to become a successful spender, update your budget and adjust your withdrawal rate as needed, master tax strategies, and stick to the plan for sequence of return. What does sequence of returns mean? Sequence of returns refers to the order in which investment returns occur over time. It's a crucial concept in financial advising because the same average return can lead to vastly different outcomes depending on when losses and gains happen, especially during retirement. Think of it like this. Scenario 1, you experience strong returns early in retirement, followed by weaker returns later on. This is generally favorable as your portfolio grows when you need it most. Versus scenario 2, you experience negative returns early in retirement, followed by strong returns later on. This can be less favorable as early losses can significantly deplete your savings, leaving less capital to benefit from later gains. Therefore, advisors consider sequence of returns risk when retirement planning income strategies are being put together, aiming to mitigate the potential negative impact of early losses. So, is there anything you can do to prepare for sequence of return risk? The good news is, while the sequence of return risk cannot be avoided, you can definitely have a plan to minimize their impact. Unless you've amassed significant assets where you can simply live off interest payments in retirement, you will likely need to be exposed to stocks or equities. Inevitably, the stock market will have down years. What goes up must come down. We need to prepare for the inevitable downturns in the stock market. When we're in the spending phase, the timing of the down years or sequence of returns can have a major impact. Losses are linear, but the required gains to offset those losses can be exponential. Frankly, you may not be able to overcome some of the losses that could occur early in retirement without the right plan in place. The combination of the 5 years before and the 5 years after retirement is the so-called game of the decade, as we believe these are the 10 years you have to have a plan for so that you can get them right to help you live the retirement lifestyle you desire. Regardless of where you're at in the journey, it's important to remember when it comes to retirement, it doesn't matter where you started, all that matters is where you finish. The good news about planning for retirement, including sequence of returns, is that these are things that are solvable with the help of an advisor. There are a lot of places where people seek financial advice or guidance on personal finance. The thing about personal finance, well, is it's personal. If you want your plan to be personal, it has to be tailored to you. It's never too late to create a plan to give you the financial security and freedom you deserve. Take control of your future and schedule a no-obligation consultation with one of our advisors today. Go to www.makeitpersonalpodcast to learn more or get connected with one of our advisors. You can download our ebook while you're there and also subscribe to our monthly newsletter. And while you're at it, please like and subscribe to the podcast. What does your vision of retirement look like? What are your biggest concerns about retirement? If you're watching or listening on a platform where you can comment, please do so as we're curious for your thoughts. At Mutual of Omaha Advisors, we understand that personal finance is personal and financial well-being is essential to achieving your life's goals. Our vision is for every customer to be able to imagine, plan, and secure their financial future. Make it personal. It's your money, it's your plan, it's your future.
This podcast is for educational purposes only and may include references to concepts that have legal and/or tax implications. Mutual of Omaha Investor Services, Inc. does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult with the appropriate professional regarding your personal situation prior to making any financial decisions. Strategies discussed may not be suitable for everyone. Securities and advisory services offered through Mutual of Omaha Investor Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Mutual of Omaha Advisors is a division of Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company.